Hello and welcome. It's the post-match show of the first T20I between India and Australia, and what a cracker of a game it has been. It was a complete batting show, a complete batting display from both the sides. In Joyda's words, if India were good, Australia were the better side tonight. So, without much ado, I would like to introduce my panelists to our viewers, Joydeep Mukherjee and Nishanjeet Arora. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining. So, Joyda, let's have you talking first about a very high profile batting display from both sides tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that pitch of Nishant's, this is about a par score on this pitch. With that pitch, with that outfield, uh, this is as good as it gets. And at the break, with those three sixes, I was just hoping, is it enough? Because we know how deep Australia bat with Cummins to come after this, and we know what he can do with the cricket bat in hand. So I was just hoping this is not a winning total. This is a fighting total. You got to bowl really well. And Akshar Patel, except Akshar Patel, I mean, we can talk about it until the cows come home, but everybody else struggled. And that's not just because they bowled badly, because that's how good the pitch was. A couple of times the commentators called it the highway number 8, and it really was. So I feel for the bowlers who've all gone at 13, 13, 49, 52. Those figures are abysmal, but that's only because the pitch had nothing for the bowlers. So I am not saying that India's lost this game because of the bowling, but I'm just saying that the maybe I don't know if we should have scored 20 runs more. Maybe we played one more spinner. I don't know because Chahal struggled today. He bowled so much quicker. I don't understand. Usually he gets slower under the gun. He just bowled quicker and quicker. I was seeing the speeds 82, hit for 486. Normally 82 in IPL, he comes down to 72. He baffles with you with their lack of speed. And of course, the fielding was very, very poor. I had a poor day. And I have played in Mohali. I've played in Mohali under lights, as Nishant will know. The lights are very low. And in Eden Gardens, there are 4 towers. Here, there are some, I don't know, 12, 15 towers.
14
Because
towers.
the air base is
14.
close by and they can't have high towers. So the towers are low. But you're playing for India. You're professional cricketers. You meant to take that.
On the same note, Nishant, how about you commenting on this? Once again, a high profile batting display from both sides. I won't say, I'll come to it, who's won and who lost, but it was wouldn't
Right.
you agree that it was a complete batting display? Nothing about bowling.
Um, that's how the Mohali pitch is. Over the years, it has been a batting paradise, and it's not a great place for bowlers to come in. I think three pitches in India where bowlers will not like to bowl are Bangalore, Wankhede, and Mohali, especially in T20 cricket. Having said that,
You
and
can
there's a
you
famous.
can add Rajkot to that also.
Yes, yes, of course, Rajkot. So Rajkot is a very good Gujarat highway actually.
True, true.
So having said that, you can take, you can control the controllables. Like the
Mm.
how the wicket will behave is not in your hands. You bowled at your best, and some of the edges went to four. That's not in your hands. You can't control that. But if you can't take your catches in a game like this, where the margin of error for bowlers is so less, I completely agree, and I know that ground very well. It's difficult to take catches, especially when the lights are so low, and sometimes you can't, judge the ball, and that must have happened. But I'm sure most of these players have been playing on this ground for a while, like whether it is Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy,
Yeah.
IPL, domestic cricket, international cricket, and all the teams that come to Mohali ask for one evening practice session always under the
Mm.
lights. And that is why, because they want to get used to the lights. So, like Joyda said, if you will drop three catches of Australian
Sitters,
side,
sitters.
yeah, you cannot expect to win a game. Like
Absolutely.
it's as simple as that. So, and I always say, batting you may do it for yourself. Bowling you may do it for yourself. Like if Akshar Patel has got 3 wickets, his figures are 3 for 70. Fielding you do for the team.
Okay. So, Joyda, I would request you to highlight and elaborate your point a bit more, if you could just explain to our viewers, if it was an absolutely batting pitch,
Yeah.
so did or should have the toss affected in any manner, like Aaron Finch winning the toss and opting to bowl first, should it or should it not have affected in any manner?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think the pitch played through for 40 overs. It's just the
Okay,
Australia wanted to chase. That's about it. There
okay,
was no
okay,
dew, nothing. Just the pitch
okay,
was a road. And I think their batting had more depth than ours. Simple as that.
okay,
Matthew Wade, who opens the batting for Australia, batted now. Pat Cummins, who can bat anywhere, is yet to come. So our batting sort of finishes with, the Akshar Patel, Dinesh Karthik, and then Akshar Patel. Akshar Patel is no Matthew Wade with the bat. He's phenomenal with the ball.
absolutely.
But he has never opened for India. Akshar Patel hasn't in one day cricket. Matthew Wade has opened in IPL cricket. So Akshar Patel has never opened in IPL. Matthew Wade is a batter in his own right. Akshar Patel is a left arm spinner, very good one, who can also bat and contribute.
Yes,
So when you look at the strength of the batters going down as you take wickets, you need the batting prowess to thin out. That is not happening. It felt
okay.
like with people like Maxwell gone and English gone, who's come? Wait, who's come? Tim David, who's left? Cummins. So these guys can go hammer and tongs, knowing that you've got Cummins to come. So they bat deep. When you bat deep, that's the advantage you have, that you can play more aggressively, knowing that there's somebody there behind you to do the job. The moment you feel it's little thin at the back end, then you restrict your hitting, and that brings the score down by 10, 15, 20 runs.
Absolutely. So
And
in
Dani,
this regard, now, yeah,
I also want to
yeah,
add a point
Nishant.
here, if you allow me to. The thing is that if you look at the pattern of 2020 cricket, especially on good batting wickets, more often
Hmm.
than not, teams are comfortable knowing the total beforehand. Like how many times team batting first will come in the press conference and say that we were 20 runs short. And what does that mean on a very, if you look at the larger picture, what does that mean? It means that more often than not, teams are not sure what is a par score if they are batting first. Unless the wicket is deteriorating and suddenly, you feel that there is a grip in the wicket, like a Chinnaswamy wicket in Chennai. You know that in
Hmm.
the second half, the wicket will turn a bit. So then it is difficult for the team batting second. But on this ground, out of 12 games, 8 times team batting second have won the matches. And it is, and I think at some stage this will be discussed because now 2020 has become the advertisement of sport, advertisement of cricket. This is the
But
way
yeah,
game will go global. And
hmm.
if the result becomes so predominant with the toss, like we saw in Dubai, like this ground, out of 12 games, 8 games teams have won. Maybe they need to do something wicket with the wickets, even if we have 140 kind of runs. But at least the chase is interesting. So to
But
negate the
on this,
advantage of the
yeah.
toss, we have to do something about it.
But Nishant, as you are stating that on most occasions, teams in T20 format are more comfortable in chasing because at the back of the hand they have
On
an
a good
idea. Okay,
wicket,
this is
on a
the,
good
yeah,
wicket,
on a good
on a
wicket.
good wicket.
But this is what my question was, that since this pitch is being regarded as absolutely flat. So in this regard, that exactly was what my question was to Joyada. So in here, had the toss made any difference, because it was
You
absolutely
see,
a fat pitch, na?
yeah, you see what happens is when you win the toss
Huh?
and elect to field, two, three
Hmm.
things happen as I explained in the pre-show. The first thing
Huh?
is whatever advantage you might have,
Huh?
if any,
Hmm.
that's
Okay.
up for grabs. You're bowling
Okay.
first on the wicket, which is a new one. Okay, first up you're bowling on it. So even if it's 1.5 overs of swing or seam, you get it. It
Yeah.
wasn't there today.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
only okay, dew wasn't there, but the wicket played flat, and the only reason the winning the toss in this case, as Nishan says, is important is because you know what the target is. See, when you bat first,
Joyda, just a second. If I can just pause you, there's an update. The player of the match is Cameron Green for his outstanding 61 runs which he hit. So yeah, this was an update. So Jayada, if you can continue from here.
Yeah. So, lost my thoughts. Yeah. So, basically, when you win a toss, and on a wicket like this, when you bat first, you don't know how much is enough.
Okay.
That's the reason why, because the wicket is so good. Now, Australia bat deep. They said, we'll put these guys first up. Their batting hasn't hit off. They haven't had a great Asia Cup. With the bat, they've not in great form as a batting unit. Today, our three batters were superb. We'll come to that in a bit, I'm sure. But I'm saying, before this game, Australia is thinking, these guys haven't had a great Asia Cup. Their batting is a bit on the ropes. Let's put them to bat first, see if there's something our bowlers can get up front, and then we back ourselves to chase whatever runs they get chasing on this wicket
Okay.
because we bat till number 8 or 9.
Okay. Okay.
And two things also happened, Dami. I think two factors. Uh,
Hmm.
one was that when India was batting, uh, I think at some stage Australians, when they got the total of 208, they realized the only way. Sometimes what happens is when you're chasing anything above 10, it unclutters your entire thinking process. Like if you're chasing 160, 170, or 140, you say, okay, first 5 overs we'll take it easy. You sometimes you overthink. But when you're chasing 10 a run over on a wicket like this, you know the only way to go about it is just keep hitting the balls, just keep putting pressure on the opposition, because that's the only way you can win the game. Like even till the 18th over, it looked like a match where both teams could win, because anything above 10 is always a difficult chase to do. So that way you have to give credit to Australia and the player of the match, Cameron Green, opening the innings, setting up things for Australia, that they never lost that momentum. Even if they lost wickets in the second half of the innings, where they lost 3 wickets in a cluster, they still kept attacking. They still kept in, they ensured that they are ahead of the run rate. And somewhere I have to say this with great, sadness, that with each passing day, we are missing certain Jasprit Bumrah, and we are missing him a lot now.
Absolutely. And on that note, let's now come down to the dissection of individual performances, maybe, because the batting display, as Joyda said, it was very sad for those players who unfortunately couldn't make it big on this pitch. Otherwise, from India, let's take a look at the Indian batting lineup. KL Rahul 55. There's Surya Kumar Yadav 46. Hardik Pandya was unbelievable, amassing 21 runs in that last over, those three consecutive sixes. It was such a treat to watch. So, Joyda, what do you have to say about these individual performances, maybe?
No, I think all three were brilliant. KL was back to his best, looked really good. I hope he went on, because then I think we'd have got another 20, 25 runs, because then you wouldn't have had Akshar Patel. I thought, I have no idea why he came into bat ahead of DK and everybody else. But whatever the strategy was, I think these three batters were just outstanding, because it wasn't easy out there. We've not played well. We didn't have a good Asia Cup. All that baggage is with us, and to be able to come and play the way. See, KL at his best is as good as he is. We know why India persists. A lot of time people, after a couple of failures, says, why is he playing? This is the reason he's playing. This is what he's
Absolutely.
capable of.
Yes.
Surya has been in great form. He's had a little quiet Asia Cup, but before Asia Cup, he was in great form. Today, we again saw what a dangerous player he can be. Although I also thought he caught out at a very wrong time. If he had stayed around for another 3, 4 overs, he could have really, broken the shackles even more. And then Hardik was unbelievable. He was the pick of the lot today, not because of the way he finished, but just the way he paced his innings. And he was the only guy who batted with the non-batters. The others batted with batters. So it's so much easier batting with fellow batters, not having to take the pressure of the other batter as well. But we saw Hardik refuse a single in the 20th over, then hit those sixes. So he took the responsibility. When you refuse a single, there's a lot of pressure on you, because you've not taken a single. You've said that, okay, I am the man, and then you got to do it. And he delivered. So he was outstanding, and he's an incredible cricketer.
He is absolutely. And Nishant, on this note, on the Indian batting lineup, if I can request you to, take us through a bit about the thought process of the Indian management that, as Joyda very rightly pointed out, what about, promoting Akshar Patel before Dinesh Karthik?
I think the strategy behind that would have been that you know allow Dinesh Karthik. They have kept a very specific role for Dinesh Karthik, uh, and they think that he will be best utilized when he comes between 16th and 20th over. And also they wanted, I think the s- the idea behind that would have been that give Akshar Patel little more time, and he can also, as we know, that he can do wonders with the bat. And Akshar Patel is trying to replace Jadeja here, who is injured, and that's the place Jadeja would have come and batted. But today it was a day where he could not, unfortunately, click with the bat, which he did. He did phenomenally with the ball actually today. If you look at his figures on a wicket like this, where every bowler has gone for 12 runs and over, 10 runs and over, 520 runs scored on a pitch, this boy has gone for like 19, 20 runs for three wickets in
470,
four overs.
473.
417, yeah,
17.
like unbelievable figures, and catches dropped. He could have ended with four wickets. So,
But he also dropped a catch, so that evened out.
yeah, yeah, of his own bowling, and you cannot blame lights
No,
in
he
that.
dropped a catch. He dropped a catch I think it was
Who
Hardik's
dropped the
bowling
catch of his
at
own bowling?
square leg.
Harshal Patel. Harshal
Yeah,
Patel, I think.
Harshal Patel. Yeah. So there was
Yeah,
a drop by KL Rahul, and there was a drop by the first catch was dropped actually by Akshar. Then
yeah,
then there was a KL Rahul who dropped one, and then
Draft.
Harshal Patel was a
yeah,
tough one. But these two were sitters, KL Rahul and
yeah.
Akshar.
Yeah.
Akshar is a brilliant fielder. KL Rahul is very very good, but Akshar I have never seen him drop a catch. Just never seen him drop a catch. I'm sure the lights have got something to do with it. And even the commentators were saying this is a common problem in that ground because of the airbase, which you know better than I.
Yeah. And also, I think India should ask for these kind of wickets, because these are the kind of wickets you will get in Australia. Although the boundaries will be much, much bigger than this.
Nishant,
Mohali,
you can't always get these sort of wickets. The soil, it's almost like saying the
at
butter
least they
chicken
can,
in
at least when
the
you're
butter
playing at home,
chicken
Dada, you can
the
request
butter
like
chicken
it.
in your house, the butter chicken in your house will be different to the butter chicken in Yuvraj's house, will be next to the butter chicken in Ashok Malhotra's house, and all of you live in Punjab. It'll all
Yeah,
be good in
that's
its
true.
own way, but I no, I see what you're saying. You want to play on wickets where the ball's coming onto the bat. I agree, but I'm saying because see now where do we go? We go to Nagpur from here. That's another road. Okay,
Yeah.
then we go to Hyderabad. That's another road. The Rajiv Gandhi Stadium is another road. So I've played matches there with state with IPL teams, big grounds, Hyderabad big ground, and absolute road. See, a lot of things matter. The weather, how much rain. Like in Calcutta, we're having some legends cricket, but it's raining every day in Calcutta, every single
Yeah,
day. The sun is out for 2 hours, it rains for 6 hours. So that pitch is not going to bake. This is not.
that's
This is soil. This is not some metal that we can
no,
put
I
and
agree
make it.
with you. But
Yeah,
what I was trying to say was that, if you are at home and you have certain goals in your mind,
yeah,
and you know that you're going to Australia, you can at least expect these kind of wickets, because
yeah. True.
you know that this is the kind of conditions good batting wickets will be offered to you in Australia. Mohali, the side boundaries are very long. Yuji Chahal, why he was bowling little fast, maybe with his experience in Mohali, playing a lot of cricket in North Zone. Uh, I have seen bowlers going little flat in Mohali because the straight boundaries are shorter and the side boundaries are longer. So
Yeah,
as
but
a
Nishant,
spinner, you are all,
for that, what you can do is you can earn the length. When you
yeah,
bowl quick on a good wicket, there's a saying our coach used to teach us: the better the wicket for the spinners, the slower the bowling. The worse the
yeah.
wicket, the quicker the bowling. So what you can do is you can bowl slower, but you can bowl far away because I cannot hit a ball which is beyond good length straight. I have to either slog sweep it, hit over covers. So
Joyda, can you
that
explain this statement? It's a very interesting statement you just stated. What
yeah.
exactly does
So
this mean?
yeah. So what it means is when the pitch is a good one, okay, a really good one like
Mm-hmm.
today, if you bowl quick,
Mm-hmm.
it makes it even better. So the spin, the amount of revolutions on the ball
Mm-hmm.
lessens when you bowl quicker. So there's less spin that's imparted. But if you bowl a bit slower, there are more revolutions on the ball before it goes and hits the ground. So you have a chance of imparting some spin.
Okay.
On
Okay.
the other hand, when the wicket is a bad one, if you bowl slowly, you're giving the batter too much time to adjust to
Yes.
that. Then you want to bowl like
Okay.
Jadeja and Aksar do,
Okay.
fast and quick. Then the
Okay.
batsman or Anil Kumble used to back in the day. You will
Okay.
not get much of a chance to react. Then you're stuck.
Okay.
And
Okay.
also,
So
Dhanvi,
continuing,
when you bowl a bit slow, you
yeah.
are asking batsmen to put energy and effort into the ball.
Okay, got it. So, continuing with my questions, let's come to Australia's batting. Also,
Hmm.
speaking of dropped catches, the only one batter who made the most out of those dropped catches was Cameron Green, the player of the match, who looked no less than a monster. He was outstanding, a 30 ball 61. There was no stopping him, and
Aaron
one
Finch
drop.
must be thinking David Warner's going to come back into this team. I'm not scoring any
Yeah,
runs, and this guy opens for the
run.
first time and gets man of the
Maybe,
match. What am
maybe,
I going to do?
Cameron, yes,
maybe
exactly.
Aaron Finch,
So,
maybe Aaron
yeah.
Finch should decide about going Davis Cup way, non-playing captain.
Uh,
So, that one drop from Akshar Patel, one drop from KL Rahul, perhaps gave him that confidence that yes,
I
I
think
can do it.
Kale's
He
drop
was
was a.
going good, but yeah,
I think Kale was drop. Kale's drop was the one of Steve Smith.
Yeah.
Steve Smith, I beg your
Kale's drop
pardon.
was Steve Smith. Yeah.
Steve Smith, but Akshar Patel. But after that, Cameron Green's catch was taken by Virat Kohli. That was an outstanding catch by Virat Kohli, one of the best fielders from India. So, how would you, Joyda, like to
No,
talk
in this
about
team,
Cameron
the
Green's
best.
performance?
With no Jadeja,
Yes,
in this team, the best. With Jadeja, one of the best.
absolutely.
No, I think that was a
Absolutely.
sitter for Jadeja, but he took it with all his heart and soul because he knew the two catches before that was dropped. It was the first catch up in the air. This is a sitter. In international cricket, this is a sitter. It's the higher they hit it, the better it is for us because more time we have to react to the ball. And he just fell down on his back because he just wanted to make sure that there's no way this catch is going down.
Yes.
But
Yes.
he is,
Uh,
and not only that catch, he was brilliant in the field as well.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
He was unbelievable with his fielding skills. But what I wanted you to do was to give your thoughts on Cameron Green. How brilliant was he with the bat
Yeah,
tonight?
brilliant. You know, he is the future of Australian cricket. An all-rounder in the proper right. He can bat anywhere, bowls a heavy ball. I think he's going to be valuable for Australia in all three versions. This is a star that we're looking at. This is the Hardik Pandya of Australia we're looking at. You know, they have a few. They have Pat Cummins. They have people coming. They have
Yes.
Stoinis. They have, people who Mitchell Marsh who bowls. They have loads of people. Maxwell bowls off spin and bats. So, that's the reason why they're as good as they are. They bat deep. They've got 7, 8 guys who bowl today. We look like who else could bowl? Rohit must be wandering between balls. Can I give Nisco? Nisco like that. But when you're Australia, you look at this guy's having a bad day. Let me get him on. He's having a bad day. Let him go now. Oh, it's turning a bit. Let me get Maxi on. So when your range increases as a team, you've got multifaceted players.
Hmm.
Then that's how you become the best team. That's why you have the trophy.
And you know what
Absolutely.
is the best thing he did for Australia in the second over of the game? Knowing fully well that Umesh Yadav has been called suddenly to the side, and then suddenly Jasprit Bumrah didn't play the game, and out of nowhere he was in the 11. And the first 4 balls he hit for 4. That immediately put pressure on the entire Indian bowling unit. And Rohit Sharma as a captain would have been thinking, यार अब बाकी 3 ओवर किससे कराऊंगा.
I was also thinking
You know,
there, Hardik Pandya could have bowled with the new ball because all this while Umesh Yadav was playing county cricket in England with the red ball. And the skill set of
yeah.
the red ball and the white ball is completely different. I was thinking because there is no Bumrah, Shami, down, out, so the guys who are in the fray are not playing. In
Arshdeep.
that, no, I'm saying
Today we
if they
missed
have to,
Arshdeep.
no, I know, but I'm saying if they've gone with Umesh in the 11, even then, knowing that they've got to moment you like you said, you've got 210 plus whatever, they'll come hard at you. They'll pick somebody out. And the first ball of the match was a six. First ball of the inning was a six over long off. And so they picked out Umesh. So I thought if Hardik can come and bowl a couple of overs over there, or start with Chahal or start with Aksar, because Umesh was like meat and drink. Because he's not in the white ball picture. He's nowhere but he's not. He wasn't in Asia Cup. He wasn't there. He was playing county cricket in England, 4-day cricket, red ball, different lengths, and here no swing. Umesh is at his best when there is swing in seam, and there was nothing at all today.
And if Joyada gave his thoughts on Cameron Green, Nishant, how about you talking to us about Matthew Wade? How good was he? That 66-run partnership with Team David, Matthew Wade doing most of the damage against India. What did you think about it?
Whenever we talk about Matthew Wade, it takes me back to that semi-final of Australia against Pakistan,
Those
against
three
the space
consecutive
of
sixes.
Shaheen
Oh,
Shah Afridi.
of
He lapped
course.
him for sixes, and he's exceptionally rated very high in Big Bash because of his chasing abilities. And somehow against for playing for Gujarat Titans at number 3, he could not do that kind of damage. But at 7, what he does is phenomenal. He loves ball coming onto the bat, and this was his kind of wicket. That's the wicket he like really thrives upon, where he can, judge his premeditated shots, where he knows that he can take the risk, he can trust the bounce of the pitch, and then he's a different beast altogether. What an
And today was
exceptional
also
guy.
his
Yeah,
today was also his day because his career strike rate is 129, which is no great shakes, especially at the back end. But today was
Yeah,
his day. Today was his day.
so,
phenomenal
gentlemen, would
batting.
you agree that, as Jada stated, that Matthew Wade is an opener as well, and at times he's also played at 3, but his comfort zone is and should be the number 7 position?
Damini, can you imagine Rohit Sharma coming at 7, or Virat Kohli coming at 7, or KL Rahul coming at 7? That's the sort of guy is coming at 7. He's open for Australia.
And
Yes,
it also again proves that we are playing against the current world T20 champions, and they are T20
exactly.
champions for a
Superb
Defending
side.
reason.
champions.
Today
Like
we
they are a
lost to a
gun
better
side
team.
right now.
We
They
lost
are
to a
a
better
gun
team.
side. Look at the players who are not there: David Warner, Mitch Marsh, Marcus Stoinis,
And still,
and
this team is more than prepared for the World Cup.
more than prepared for the World Cup in their own backyard, where they know the conditions
Exactly.
as back of their hand, and everything. Like I was feeling, यार इस टीम में स्टीव स्मिथ की जगह कैसे बनेगी? I was actually feeling, and we're talking about the Steve Smith. Like, after
One of the
Bradman,
best fours. One of the
ऑस्ट्रेलिया में
best
अगर
fours.
ब्रैडमैन के बाद किसी का मतलब एवरेज देख के आप घबरा जाते हो तो वो है स्टीव स्मिथ. तो
नहीं
हम
वो
कह
तो
रहे हैं यार
डेज
अच्छा.
में नहीं
हाँ
वो तो
मतलब वॉट
डेज
एवर
में
आई एम टॉकिंग
Yeah.
अबाउट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द ग्रेटनेस ऑफ अ प्लेयर. और आप कह
No,
रहे हो
but
यार
this is his weakest version, and I mean what you're saying is Test cricket and one day cricket.
या.
But in T20 cricket, a lot of the Australians feel that I feel that if everybody is available, we might not play, and that's how they are.
And I
They're dropping.
also feel that the way things are going forward, T20 teams will look very different from your one day teams and your
What
test
happens
teams.
now if David Warner comes and he says, "Okay, Cameron Green bat 3? Why
Yeah.
not?
And
Why
why
not?"
would you not play Tim David? Like, how will you keep him
No,
out from a side?
Cameron Green at 3 instead of Steve Smith. What wrong is he done?
Yeah.
All rounder at 3, can bat, can bowl. Then there's Mitchell Marsh. Then there's Stoinis. Then there is Tim David. Then there's English. Can you imagine? Then there is Wade. Then there is Cummins. They're batting till 9.
So basically,
Solid, solid.
with or without the main players, with or without the three ends, there's no difference to the Australian side. They'll be
No,
the
there is difference.
majestic.
मतलब
They
दादा
are
क्या
now
कर रहे हैं, जाने से पहले ही डरा रहे हैं हमें. नहीं
they
जाएं,
are
क्या
now
करें?
they are now 10 on 10. With them, they'll be 12 on 10. That's how good they are.
God.
But you
And
got
they're
to go and
already the
beat them.
defending champions.
Yeah, you got to go and beat them. See, this game is played on a
Yes.
given day. There are many
Yes.
teams in 1983 in that World Cup final. West Indies was better than India,
Of course. Of
but we beat them.
course.
We beat them.
And
One thing
one
is
must not
knowing that on
forget.
paper they're stronger than us. Knowing that on paper they're stronger than us. Next day is going and beating them in the ground on a skill set. That is
And
always
one
on.
must
But we are
and
discussing paper here.
and
Yes.
one must not forget that Australia was a struggling side in a Dubai World Cup. No one fancied them to win that World Cup. It was the favorites were England, Pakistan, India. And Australia out of nowhere won that tournament, and something flipped after that. And also They have not played. I was reading somewhere they have not played too much T20 cricket in
Nine,
last 1 year.
nine,
Only nine
nine.
games.
Nine, nine.
We play 29.
Okay, so on an ending note, one question each. Final round of questions. Nishant, about Australia's bowling, Nathan Ellis was their pick of the bowlers. Picking up 3 wickets, giving away 30 runs. You found him. How did you find him?
He's also an all-rounder, by the way.
Of course, he is. So, what do you have to say about his performance tonight?
Yeah, so again,
Even with his
very
catching, he was so phenomenal with his fielding skills as well.
yeah, again, exceptional talent. Again, a very, very utility player who can contribute with bat, contribute with ball, uh, and he's very highly rated. Like he was expected to open the innings today, uh, but he came late in the order. Just it just shows that they're the kind of depth they have in the team, like whether it is batting, whether it is
Multifaceted team.
bowling, they have
You
covered
know,
all the facts. Like they have
Rohit
covered
Sharma
all the
said that
bases.
we want a team where Pant can bat one, Pant can bat four, Pant can bat six, Surya can bat one. In the bigger picture, this is that team.
Yeah, that's the future of 2020 cricket. Like you look at the wicket, you look at the conditions, every wicket that falls change the equation, and you have players like there will be a time 5 people padded up in the dressing room, and you don't know who you want to send because it will depend on like in this Indian team, if India is batting and Virat Kohli is at 3, but if India is 90 for 1 in 10 overs, you will not send Virat Kohli at 3. You will send Surya Kumar Yadav at number 3.
That'll never happen.
But that should
So,
happen.
Joyda, the final question to you before we wrap up this show is some important things to do for India, perhaps make corrections, because each and every T20 series that India plays from now will definitely be looked upon as a build up to the upcoming World Cup.
No, although India lost this game today, there were some positives. I think the way these three batted were a positive.
Yes,
Okay, the way Aksar bowled was a positive. I think what we need to work on is the rest of the bowling and our fielding. I think if we had taken those catches early, we would have put some more pressure. I'm not saying we would have won the game. Like we know there were enough batters. Like Nishant said, there was still Ellis and everybody else to come. So everything put together, you can never say if we had taken the catches, we would have won. You never know. Just. But yeah, you could have put them under some pressure. They could have succumbed. Today, the way these two batted at the end, there's nothing you could do. You have to just stand and applaud because anywhere they bowled, they were hitting out of the park. So, and in Nagpur and in Hyderabad, even if it's not as good as this, it'll be 90% of this, or 85% of this, which will also be very, very good. So this is going to be a tough series. And I said in the pre-show, even without these three that are missing, this is a superb Australian side.
And what I'm
absolutely.
liking, there's always a silver lining in the clouds. Like what I'm liking is that the more India is playing, they played the Asia Cup, they got to know few areas they need to cover. Now this tournament, they are not playing against they are playing against top side, Australia, South Africa. South Africa is a very good 2020 side. So South Africa is coming next. So you know till the time they reach Melbourne, or when they land in Australia, they will know what exactly they need to do to win this tournament.
Okay, so with these thoughts, we come to the end of this post-match show of the first T20 between India and Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, you were hearing my panelists, Jaideep Mukherjee and Nishanjeet Arora, with their thoughts and their mode of dissection of this game. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining and sharing your thoughts. We meet again on the 23rd of September when India and Australia lock horns in the second T20I. And as for today, it was, if India batted very well, Australia were the better side in their all-round performance, and hence they take the first match by winning by 4 wickets. So that's all for now. Thank you so much. Take care, and let's meet on the 23rd. Thank you.
Good night.
Thanks and good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.